African immigrants settle in Canada. It is what it sounds like. They help newcomers from Africa settle anywhere in Canada and adapt to life here without hassles, providing individual and family support, driver's road test assistance, student support, computer skills training, and job search assistance. Free consultations are available all year round. Contact African Immigration Settlement in Canada. Visit aisic.ca. That's aisic.ca.
Awesome. So before we start, I'll give a brief introduction on ISIC. ISIC was established in May 12, 2009, and we're committed to facilitating successful settlement of new African immigrants in Canada. The organization just started with the interest of ensuring individuals and families thrive to succeed in Canada, and also as a call of response to the rising African immigrants. We provide services ranging from accommodation, assistance, employment opportunities. We help individuals to get their Canadian driver's license. We have financial guidance and community integration. Our mission is simple. Our mission is just to empower African immigrants to thrive in Canada and settle families from coast to coast. So today we have a very interesting session ahead of us, and we have with us Mr. Daniel Oladeji. Mr. Daniel Oladeji is an insurance analyst and practitioner possessing extensive proficiency in general insurance, life insurance, and risk management. He's also an agile practitioner with years of hands-on experience utilizing prominent agile project management tools such as Jira, Confluence, and Rally. As a dedicated proponent of agile methodologies, he holds the coveted designation of a certified Scrum Master, equipped with a profound understanding of orchestrating collaborative efforts within teams. Mr. Daniel has over 15 years of work experience in the insurance industry and is on board of insurance coverage in Nigeria. He is licensed to practice insurance brokerage and agency in Nigeria and Canada. Mr. Daniel is an experienced leader with over 20 years of experience in mentoring youth and students. He provides spiritual guidance, mentorship, and youth development. He has built and led programs to empower young people with rehabilitation, entrepreneurship, and business skills. He is happily married and blessed with 3 lovely children. His education and certification includes being a certified Scrum Master, certified Farm Products Owner, Associate Chartered Insurer of Nigeria, Canadian Accredited Insurance Broker. He has a diploma in business insurance, a bachelor's of insurance, and bachelor's of economics from the University of Illinois. With a digital round of applause, can we please welcome Mr. Daniel to the podium, please? Over to you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you for bringing me on board. Okay, so the topic is breaking in insurance industry, newcomer's guide to career success in Canada. So I welcome you all to this interesting seminar. And let me start with this little introduction. Let's look at the insurance landscape. You know, there's difference between the Nigerian insurance landscape and the Canadian insurance landscape. In Canada, insurance is well regulated, and there are a lot of insurances that are mandatory for every individual or maybe family or business to have. Here in Canada, you cannot really escape insurance. So we have regulators who are in charge of insurance in Nigeria. Regulatory framework. We have the thing governed by the federal and the provincial regulators. We have insurance, regulators control some of the licensing at the federal level and at the provincial level. Some, they offer license to operate an insurance company, while the provincial also give license to some brokerage and agents and individuals to operate insurance agency or operations. So before we go into this career part or section, what is insurance? So we need to look at risk. Before you talk about insurance, you need to look at the word risk. And what is risk? Risk is the probability of a loss or an undesirable outcome. It can be that undesirable outcome can be financial, physical, or emotional. For example, the loss of a car, that can lead to, financial loss. Then when you look at house fire, that can be physical loss. Then when somebody loses his or her job or have illness, that can affect the emotion. So you look at risk as the possibility of a loss or an undesirable outcome. In life, risk is certain. It is certain that something will happen in life. Possibility of a loss. You own an asset, you have properties. There's possibility or chance that there will be an uncertain event that will occur. So that is where the word insurance come from. So insurance and type of insurance. What is insurance? Insurance is simply a risk transfer mechanism whereby you have the insurer and the insured, coming together as a party in order to have transaction together whereby the insured offer premium, like consideration for what is to be insured. So somebody come with a proposal. I have a building, I have my house, I have this property, I want to insure my life. Then the person will go to an insurer or to an insurance company and say, okay, I want to transfer this risk to you. And in return.
Could you put your presentation on the post presentation?
Yeah.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you, sir.
So what is insurance? I said it's simply a risk transfer mechanism whereby the insured or a proposer, somebody who needs an insurance company, walk up to an insurance company and say, oh, I need coverage, I need protection for this, my assets, I need protection for my life, I need protection for my wealth. And the insurance company now decides to say, okay, if you need protection, you need to give something in exchange. So we require you to pay your premium so that we can give you protection. Then insure, we pay the premium. Then the insurance company will now give out something that is called insurance policy, which is an evidence of our insurance contract, binding the insured and the insurers together. I don't want to go deep into all that. We just want to look at different types of insurance. Number one, we have the property and the casualty insurance. You can call it general insurance, and the other one is life insurance. So the P and C insurance, you have the auto, the motor insurance, you have the construction, you have bond, fire and special perils. You have different kinds under the property and the casualty insurance. Then under life, you have the life and the health insurance. You have life, disability, critical illness, and so on. There are different products and there are different names that different companies tag their product with. Let's go to the next slide. How risk is treated and why the need of insurance. Are there different ways by which people treat their risk? What are the common ways? When there's risk, you know that there's certainty that something will happen, unfortunate thing will happen. So how can you treat the risk? Number one, there's a way of treating it that is called risk avoidance. And this risk avoidance, you try to eliminate, you try to associate yourself entirely from the risk. You don't want to, for example, you don't want to have an accident, then do away with driving. Don't even go by the roadside, auto accident. Don't even go near a vehicle, don't drive, don't walk by the roadside if you want to eliminate the risk totally. So that is risk avoidance, not driving to avoid road accident. Don't even go out. That is one form of treating a risk. Then the second one is risk reduction, taking steps to minimize your risk. For example, in your house, you have the smoke detectors, you have those things that can help you to reduce the risk. In your car, you have the seat belts, you have many other things that you install in order to minimize your risk. Another way of treating risk is by risk transfer, and that is the one we are looking at today. One of the major ways of treating risk is risk transfer, and this is where insurance comes in. Shifting the risk to another party. like an insurer. And we also have some other people that you can shift the risk to. The burden, you can shift it to some other organization. For example, buying auto insurance to cover accident costs and other unfortunate events. So that is transfer of risk. Then another way of treating risk, we have risk retention. You can decide to retain your risk, accepting the risk and dealing with any loss directly. For example, choosing a high deductible or going on a shore. On your policy, somewhere you see deductible. Deductible is the part of that loss that the insured need to bear. Sometimes when you have a claim and the insurance company will tell you that how much is the deductible on your policy, then that means they have to remove that particular amount from the amount they want to pay to you. In Nigeria, the way they treat the deductible is different. They call it excess. Here is different in Canada. In Canada, they allow you to pay the money, the sum. They allow you to pay it directly, and that you are bearing part of the loss. But in Nigeria, they factor it as part of the loss and remove it from the money that is payable to you. So, and also they can also treat it the way Canadians are treating it. So that is risk retention. Or you go uninsured. You can call some of your friends together and say, okay, let's do something. Let's pull some resources together. You have your car, I have my car. Let's be contributing some amount of money every month. Then when there's any accident, we can use that money to settle the accident, the expenses, and other things. Also, another ways of treating risk is risk sharing, distributing the risk among group of people or individuals, employers, group benefits, and so on. So these are the major ways of treating risk. Let's go to the need for insurance. Why insurance? Number one, insurance will help you to get financial protection. It prevents devastating personal and business losses. Number two, is a means of shifting your burden of loss from individual or organization to the insurer. Even the insurer, they have a way of shifting their burden to the reinsurance company. So another reason for insurance is it will give you peace of mind. I see some people park their vehicle in this Canada and I still see them lock the steering, and sometimes I laugh that is it that they have just third party or they have comprehensive, and why are they afraid? Sometimes a friend was telling me and said he has a very good car, and he said if I just wake up and I can't find the car again, then that's a blessing to me. I said how? He said because he knows insurance company will give him money to get another one, and he can choose to get a better one. So peace of mind, you have peace of mind. Also, business continuity, it enables entrepreneurs and companies to survive unexpected events. When some things happen, we have policies like fire and special perils. We have the construction insurance, we have bonds, we have business interruption insurance, and other types like that. So it helps the entrepreneurs, the business owners, to survive whenever there's unexpected events. Also, we have social stability. It encourages responsible behavior and supports economic resilience. Then also we have career options. It drives a multi-billion dollar industry. In this part of the world, in the Western world, this is a place where you see insurance buying over banks. Insurance company can own a bank in the Western world. Different from what we have back in Africa, where the banks are in control of insurance company. But here it's a multi-billion dollar industry. And we have different roles. So it's a form of career option. We have the underwriters, we have the claim sales, brokers, risk managers, actuarial, scientists, we have the regulatory, those in the section of regulatory affair, then InsurTech and data analytics. So it's a form of career. Then let's look at the general insurance career options. You have the underwriting. These are people, the underwriters are those that assess the risk. They assess the risk, they determine the premium, they look at it if it will be accepted or rejected. If it's going to be accepted, will there be moderation? Will there be some adjustment in some of the terms and conditions of that policy of that contract? So these are the roles. These are the people that operate the policies, the operation of the insurance. Also, we have the claims handler. They investigate and settle claims fairly, efficiently. We have some of these roles as claim adjusters, claim examiners, appraisers. What they do majorly is they negotiate, investigate, then they also provide customer service to those who have claims to lodge before an insurance company. We have the sales and the brokerage section or unit. So they sell insurance products to individual businesses and so on. And what are these roles? They are insurance brokers, they are insurance agents, account executive, we have account specialists, account managers, and so on. Different roles in the insurance industry. Then we have the direct writers, we have the independent brokers, and so on. This is just the first part. We are still going to take the second part where we'll go detail into some of these things because time will fail us to go to everything today. Then we have the risk management. These are people that analyze risk, minimize for clients. The roles we have: risk analysts, risk consultants, risk managers, and so on like that. So let's look at the actuaries and the analytics. These are people that use the mathematical skill and statistics to assess the risk. Sometimes they set the premium, they determine the rates and those things. The common roles are actuaries, data scientists, pricing analysts, and so on. Then the insurance operations handles back-end operation and customers. We have the policy administration, customer service rep, operation analyst, and so on. Then we have the regulatory and compliance aspect. They make sure that everything go well with the government, with the rules and regulation of the government. So we have compliance. So if you are from the legal aspects, you can also find your way into the insurance industry by being a compliance officer, licensing specialist, audit analyst, and so on. Then we have those in the IT section, those that can come in InsurTech and digital transformation. These are people, what do? They innovate insurance products. They design different insurance products to suit the need of individual, organization, or group of people. That's their job. So we have product managers. Sometimes you have product owners, you have UX designers, you have business analysts, and so on, and developers. Now, for the licensing and the certification pathway. Now, if you are going through the life parts, we have the general and the non-life. That's like life and non-life. So if you are going through the life aspect, you need the LLQP, Life License Qualification Program. And this license will help you to sell life insurance, accident, sickness, and other segregated funds. So when you have this license in Canada, it will enable you, or in the province, it will enable you to sell some of the life products and other segregated funds. And so before you can do that, you need to pass the provincial exam. After some trainings or seminars, then they will issue the license to you. Also, there's general insurance license. In Ontario, we have the RIBO, that's the Registered Insurance Broker of Ontario. Then in Alberta, in Manitoba, we have different ones. So you write the exam, there are different pathways. You have different exams for the CAPE, for the CIP, for the risk management. Then you can tailor towards any of the paths to get your general insurance license. Then the licensing and certification pathway, we have the CIP, that's a Chartered Insurance Professional. When you join, or maybe you are willing to go into insurance, you don't need to use your money to write this exam because the CIP, for example, is expensive. But there are ways you can come in. Maybe we'll discuss that later. Also, we have CABE, that's Canadian Accredited Insurance Broker, and this is ideal for broker, for those into agency focusing on personal, commercial, brokerage management. Then we have the CRM, Canadian Risk Management, specializes in identifying, analyzing, and managing risk. So this certification is useful for risk consultants, underwriting. Sometimes the Insurance Institute of Canada and so on, Insurance Institute of Manitoba and so on, they organize some program. They try to do a lot of industry events you can attend. Then join LinkedIn group, focus on insurance professional. Connect with alumni of your school and those that you graduated together, maybe in Canada or outside. You can see the suggestion page on LinkedIn. It will tell you people from your school, people from your former place of work. It will give you a lot of suggestions so you can connect to some of those things. Then connect with other professionals or volunteer and participate in insurance webinars and workshops. Another way to gain networking is to strengthen your job application. Some people will say, oh, I don't have experience in insurance. There are different aspects that are in insurance, and there are different entry levels. There are different levels. And do you know that there's also some transferable skills from wherever field you are coming from? Somebody was in healthcare and he was coming into insurance, and part of those things she was doing in the healthcare was able to also help her in navigating into the insurance company. Somebody was coming as an engineer, and that person was able to navigate into the construction part and other commercial part of insurance. And so your knowledge is transferable into the industry. And so don't be afraid that, oh, maybe I don't have an insurance background or qualification. Sometimes they will tell you that we are ready to train you and we can help you, that you should even forget what you know before and learn, and they are able to train you. So you need to build your resume with insurance keyword, underwriting, whatever role you are applying for. If you know how to design your resume, make sure you tailor the keywords. You can search. GPT can help you do a lot of things nowadays. So just go to that GPT and put your keywords and so on, and tell GPT to design an insurance resume for you, and that will be done in less than 20 minutes. So use action verbs and quantify achievement. Tailor your cover letter to each role with relevant experience. Then highlight Canadian certification or licensing progress. Now, how will you highlight that? I've seen many people and they don't know that having a level 1 license is not too difficult and it's not too expensive. So with that alone, with a level 1 license in insurance, you can easily navigate into the insurance industry, because they will see that you are really interested, and that will give you edge over some other candidates who are not having or in possession of the Canadian certification. So that is another way. Then also, how do you prepare for the interview? Sometimes they won't ask you what is insurance, what is claim, what is underwriting. They ask you for some of these behavioral questions, just the way you have a general interview when you go for an interview. They ask you some of these behavioral questions, and what they want to see is that they want to see how can you solve a problem? How can you apply your skill? When there are situations, how can you navigate? So those are what they are just trying to ask from you. So practice behavioral question. Tell me about a time you handle a claim. If you in our homes, even if you are not an insurer or maybe somebody with an insurance background, there are times you have handled some incidents or some unfortunate events in your home. So as part of the behavioral questions, you can tell them, oh, there was a time an accident happened, domestic accident in the home. Then tell them about the approach, tell them some of the steps you took. Those are things they just want to hear. How you were able to handle a challenge, what did you do, and what are the steps, and so on. Understand the core insurance concept. There are some basic things that you need to understand, like indemnity, subrogation, underwriting, and so on. Just go to Google and go to ChatGPT and put the key word in insurance, and you'll be able to get some of these things. Then show awareness of Canadian insurance market trend, emphasize customer service, compliance, and so on. And when you do that, you'll be sure that you can get the position you are applying for. Also, you can seek mentorship from insurance industry professionals. Seek mentorship. That's the best way. When you seek mentorship, that means you are trying to learn from those who have made mistake or those who have had a success in that industry. So you can seek for mentorship from insurance professional. Also, you can participate in mock interview with career service or LinkedIn connection. There are a lot of mock interview. If you go to YouTube, you can see a lot of mock interview that you can build. I'm trying to manage the time because I was given between 30 to 35. And so thank you for joining us. I know there will be a lot of questions. And today, I'm just trying to look at the general aspect of the insurance. There's general aspects and also there's a life aspect. So mainly today we are looking at the general aspects. Another day we'll look at life and some other products and other things that we have in that section. So Canada insurance industry is not just stable, it is evolving and full of opportunities. So as a newcomer and applicant, your skill, perspective, and adaptability are valuable assets. So with the right education or information, licensing, networking, you can build a successful, rewarding career. Whether you choose underwriting, claim sales, or IT, there's always a path for anyone to come in. Yeah, thank you. So now it's time for questions.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. It's been very enlightening, even for myself. If you have any questions, please feel free to raise up your digital hand or just go ahead and speak or put it in the chat as well. Any questions? Sharon, you can go ahead, please.
Good afternoon. My question is not so far. We have some areas mentioned about claim adjuster, loss adjuster, and I'm very keen about that area where I can add that as another aspect of where I can get some other fund and all that. My question is, being a loss adjuster, what are the areas, the exam I need to write or registration I need to make to not working for anybody, just to be loss adjuster and then a loss assessor? What do I do to get myself started? That's number one. Number two, you did talk about licensing officers. Licensing officers, what do they do? Is it that they work with the government, or is it something that one can do on his own? Once you are registered with the government, then you can be on your own to not working for anybody to start being a licensing officer.
Thank you so much, sir. So I'll start with the second one. The licensing officer that I mentioned is a particular career opportunity in the insurance company. There are departments where you have the compliance, the regulatory demand, where the government wants the staff or those who are working in that organization to have license. So the licensing officers are those is part of the HR team. They work in admin and HR, and their own unit is to ensure that people who are communicating or selling insurance or relating with clients are properly licensed. So these are the people in charge of the licensing. For example, when I came into the insurance industry here in Canada, immediately I got in, they told me, oh, you have so number of months to get this particular license, and the licensing department or unit were following up on me to give me all the information I need in order to apply for my exam, in order to go for the training, in order to get my certification. Even after I passed the exam, they were still saying, oh, you need to go back to the provincial board in order to get your license and so on. So these are the units that are in charge of guiding people, controlling or directing on how to get a license. So that's I hope that is clear, sir.
Yes, thank you. But then the second question, sir.
For loss adjusters in Canada, the loss adjuster sometimes it depends on the province where you have. Like Manitoba here, you have the auto insurance being controlled by the provincial government, whereby in Ontario it is different. And so sometimes the government or the, let's say, MPI will be the one that will appoint the adjusters or claim examiners to whenever there's a claim, they contract some of those aspects out so that they will face the other aspect. For example, now when you have a let's say breakage of glass and you don't have any fatal accidents, MPI will not treat that. You don't need to go and submit your claim directly to the MPI for the breakage of your windscreen, your glass. There are some set of organizations that they have partnership with MPI, and these are people that do the repairs, the adjustments, and the claims filing, and they help you treat everything. Then they submit the claims to. So the same way we have some of the adjusters to depending on the province where you are in Canada. The MPI can contract some aspect of the examining of the accident, checking the level, the severity of that thing, they contract it out. Then the exam, there are some exams that I can't remember the name of the exam now. There are some exams you can write, just like you have the CIP, you have the GABE, you have the LLQ, and so on. There are some that you can write whereby you become an independent loss adjuster and you are licensed to examine claim, to adjust claim, and you can work for maybe government, you can work for insurance company, you can work with brokerage firm depending on which of the license you have. Is that clear, sir? I can help you look for that name of the license, the specific license, and later maybe forward it to the CEO so that you can get it. If you don't have the direct access to me, then I can help you and forward it to the CEO. Yes.
Thank you very much.
So thank you so much. So I have two questions there. The first is, what insurance companies can employ you here in Canada?
There are a lot of insurance companies in Canada. And let me tell you something. In Canada here, the way we have insurance company in Nigeria, where the brokerage firms are bigger, sometimes where the insurance companies are bigger than the brokerage firms. Sometimes here in Canada or in North America, the reverse is the case. Sometimes you have some insurance brokerage firm that are bigger than some insurance companies that are bigger. So there are a lot of insurance companies that are out there, even in this Manitoba, different auto park, different names. Now, if you go to Google and just list all the name of insurance brokerage firm in Manitoba, you will see a lot that you are not even aware of. There are many. And you know, because insurance is regulated and sometimes the insurance culture here is very high, people have the awareness, they know about insurance, they don't compel them sometimes to do insurance, and there are also compulsory insurance too that you need to. You can't just put your vehicle on the road and drive. You can't just own an apartment or your personal home and without having insurance. So with that, there's a ready opportunity for anybody that wants to work, because there's that certainty, whatever that happens, the insurance is well regulated and you can easily work. So if you just Google and list and say numbers or give me names of insurance company or brokerage firm in Canada, there are many of them. Yes.
All right, sir. Thank you so much, sir. So before we go to the second question, I see a hand up. You can go ahead, Salma.
I say good afternoon or good evening. I'm joining you from Nigeria. So I want to appreciate the presenter tonight, or this evening, or this afternoon. I want to appreciate the presenter. He has done a good job. And I'm happy he understands my own background, where I'm talking from. In Nigeria, insurance is not it's not an household name as such. You can have your vehicle without talking about insurance. If you have anyone at all, it to be third party. You can have your house without thinking about insurance. So it's not like how it is with you guys. But actually, my question is this, because I don't know if I missed out some things, but what I heard from him, I didn't hear him talking about the basic qualification to be an insurer or to be an insurance practitioner? Is it assumed that anybody can just wake up one day and then you write the licensing exams and you align yourself with any of the specialization in insurance practice? Or what are the basic qualifications? Who can become an underwriter? Who can become an insurer or what have you? What are those basic qualifications that one must have before you can practice?
Thank you so much, Matt. Just like you have in Nigeria, you have the CIN, Chartered Insurance Institute of Nigeria. The basic requirement they will tell you is just to have your maybe secondary school education, and you can go into the stage 1, stage 2, and so on. You understand what I'm trying to say? Like CIN, also like the brokers certification too. You can be just a secondary school holder and you start your insurance licensing, and you become. And some people can start as a graduate, maybe they are graduate of insurance or anything that relates to risk management. Then that will help them to get some exemption or transfer skilled into that certification. But here in Canada, it is different. Sometimes when you study insurance, even in the college or university, they will tell you that this certification CIP or CIAP or the risk management certification, sometimes they will tell you that if your school is not accredited or have anything to do with them, they automatically you cannot get some of those exemptions or some of those transfer qualifications that you have that are related to insurance. So in Nigeria, for example, if you study, let's say, diploma or ND in insurance and you want to go into CIN, you will be exempted to write some courses. But here in Canada, if you study, let's say, diploma in insurance and your school is not having accreditation or affiliation with the CIP, then those of your courses, they expect you to write it while in school, while you are studying that business insurance. What they do for you is this. Instead of charging you for the lecture, for the textbook, they only charge you for the payment of the exam fee. And instead of grading you on 100%, sometimes they allow your school to send your score at 50% level, and that score you have they divide your grade in that particular course as over 50, while you have 50% to make up in the certification exam. So it is easier for you to even become chartered or licensed while doing that course in school. But if you fail to do that while in school and you leave the school system, they will tell you you need to start all over again. So it's not an automatic exemption or transfer just like we have it in Nigeria. So the basic qualification can just be your secondary school education. Even when you are coming into the insurance industry, the basic qualification they ask you, they won't ask you for BSc, they will just tell you post-secondary school education. In fact, I've seen people with just grade 12 diploma coming into the insurance industry. So those are the requirements. And anybody, as you are in Nigeria, you can even register for the CIP if you know you can afford it. The Chartered Insurance Professional of Canada, CIP exam, you can register if you can finance it. You can start from Nigeria. I know someone that was writing it from Nigeria, and with that alone, you can even decide and say, oh, I've written level 1 and 2. I want to come and write level 3 in Canada, and you apply to the embassy that you are coming to write the exam. They will allow you to come and do it. So those are some of the requirements and the qualifications that you need. I hope everything is clear, ma.
Yes, thank you. It's clear. It's clear. Thank you so much.
Okay.
All right, sir. Thank you so much. So the last question I have here is, do you know of any resource personally that could help build knowledge of insurance and the industry in depth?
There are a lot of resources. There are a lot of things that can help you. I said it. If you want something, you can just go to LinkedIn. You can just search some things about insurance. You can even go to your chat GPT and ask some questions. Just whatever you need about insurance, just go to your GPT, ask questions, or look for a mentor, somebody who is in the insurance industry, a professional in that line. Just look for the person, ask some questions. Those people can even tell you some of those job roles that you can use to navigate into the insurance company. I remember somebody is in HR and is trying to go to Ontario, and I told the person to just go and apply to my company, and the person look at it, is it not an insurance company? And I laugh. And some people make that mistake because some people, they think insurance is just about sales of insurance. That whenever you mention insurance, is it not just marketing? I don't want to do my insurance is more than marketing, it's more than sales. There are a lot of roles you can find in insurance. And so there are ways you can navigate that. When you come in, you see some internal vacancies that you can apply to and change from one unit or one department to the other.
Awesome. Thank you so much, sir. So I don't see any questions, but then I think a question, would it be okay for people to reach out to you? If yes, what's the best contact information you could give?
The people can just get in touch with the CEO, then he would give them the access to reach out to me. Anybody can just, if you need my detail or information about me, can just get through so that the CEO will be aware that, okay, somebody wants to get across to me, then I can easily answer any question or give any assistance or guidance in any area.
Absolutely, sir. Thank you so much. So on behalf of ISIC, I would like to say a very big thank you. Can we all give him a digital round of applause for sharing with us today? If you can, please join me in celebrating him for joining us.